So we've got Burb coming up with Castlevania Dracula X. It's the best one, and Dan's going to be doing some commentary. So I don't think we have any more donations since they were last read. Let me look. No, we don't. Okay, so well, yeah, we do. No, we don't. I'm just gonna go ahead and pass it over to Bourbon Dan. Let's do it.
Alrighty, guys. So I'm Dan Carnett, and here we have Burb about to start on this Dracula X run. So when you are ready, Burb, we'll go in 3, 2, 1, start. And the timer will start right when the first frame is on the deal here. All right, so timer will start right now. Okay, so Castlevania Dracula X. First thing to note is it may look very similar to a game you may have heard of called Rondo of Blood. This game was actually made 2 years after Rondo of Blood, and was basically a lot of times it's compared to Rondo of Blood. However, it is a completely different game. So as you can see here, there's a lot of tricks that involve very pixel precise placement as far as damage boosts and everything else that's going on here. So the first thing you're going to notice here on this screen, you notice that Bird is looking to the left. And what this is doing is this is manipulating the Medusa heads from spawning in front of him and having them spawn rather behind him. So as he continues here, he's going to attempt to take as many damage boosts as possible while keeping himself alive, because at the end of this run, there is a countdown at the end, very similar to most of the classic Castlevania games. So he wants to have his health as low as possible, but of course staying alive, and that is going to allow him to. That's going to allow him to have the shortest countdown after the fact possible. So pretty good stage here right off the bat. You're going to see an awesome kill here on the Cerberus. He's going to attempt a quick kill, which is going to be using the item crash from the cross. So a double item crash executes it perfectly, and there we go. That's stage 1 in the books. So as far as movement goes, one of the biggest things on this game that makes it a little bit more unique to a lot of other Castlevania games and stuff is that because it's on the SNES, the actual hardware and running speed of the SNES is a little bit different than like what the PC Engine is, where Rondo came from. So when you look at Rondo of Blood, it runs a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother, and then the Dracula X, we joke around, one of the biggest enemies in Dracula X is the eaten inputs. It is the game of hungry inputs here. So we had a really good start here to stage 2. It's pretty straightforward. We have one of the first like big tricks here of the run coming up here in just a couple of screens. So he's going to be manipulating some Spear Knights to do this, so he can get a boost and skip a solid portion of the screen, saving probably about 35 seconds. It's very difficult, requires really good timing and pixel placement. So let's see how he operates it here. It also is dependent on RNG here. So he got some pretty bad RNG here. So he's going to wait to try to get a little bit better of a timing here. Going to go for the jump. Didn't get the boost up there on the first attempt, and it's faster to kill the enemy at that point than to actually go for the boost. Now he's gonna get up, so missed the timing on it. Now it's It's fine. It's going to take a little bit longer. That is one of the big reset points of this run, is attempting to get that boost. So one thing he's going to be doing here is going to take it a little bit easier, because we want to go ahead and try to make it as safe as possible to get through here and get the get a safety meat, which will be in this next screen here. So he's going to go ahead and kill that guy, and there's some meat right here underneath that eyeball. Now, the Bat Boss, which he's about to face, is one of the more precise boss fights in the run. So let's see how he executes it here. Because you'd want to try to get him where he only phases into those little bats twice. And looks like he's gonna nail it. Perfect. Great fight. Burb on a strong pace right now. So stage 3. Stage 3 has one of the most execution-heavy screens in the game, and it's this first screen when going for the speed run can be particularly annoying. So you'll notice that there's Medusa heads coming. Now, what he's doing here is he's doing a backflip whip cancel, so that he actually gains height, because you jump higher when doing the backflip. Now he's going to be attempting to... He's going to kill the bone tower, and he's going to go forward this way. Now he's looking left again, because right there at the end, a lot of times you'll get a troll Medusa head that will spawn, and it can knock you all the way back down to the beginning of the level, and it is terrible. So here, once again, this is another screen that has a little bit of RNG, navigates it just fine. And now we're going to see the infamous, I call it the Burb flip. So off those stairs onto that platform, first person I ever saw do it was Burb, and so it is now coined the Burb flip. So whenever you do it, you have to give credit to the man. So now, once again, he's looking left here, and this is to manipulate the bats to be coming from the left-hand side of the screen as opposed to be coming from the right side, as it can make navigating that platform and everything quite treacherous. Good thing about this stage is that there is no boss at the end of it. So it is pretty straightforward of just kind of plowing through the stage as quickly as possible. He's going to jump off this bone tower and then take a hit to the back from the axe, which is going to allow him to damage boost through that bone tower. He's going to grab this 5 heart here and drop down, and that's the end of stage 3. Now, this is the quote-unquote bad ending, so it requires not going through that top portion to grab the key. Now, if you were going for like the best ending, requires getting the key and saving I think it's like his girlfriend and daughter or something. I don't know what the deal. I don't know who they are. They're just random people in this one. But he's you can save those by going across there, but by dropping down, this is the fastest way for us to beat the game. So now he's going to jump over this Axe Knight. So far, so good. Stage 4 overall is not the most difficult stage, but it is one of the most punishing if you mess up a jump. As you can see down there in the bottom, all that muck. If Burb falls down into the mud and stuff down there, it is a huge time loss. That was a really good recovery right there when he accidentally went to the right, because that's, once again, one of the big things about Dracula X is that there is the opportunity for a lot of missed inputs, because the game is just going to eat them, and it doesn't discriminate on which input that'll be. Most of the time it's your jump button, but it'll do item crashes, it'll do everything that you can imagine. So this part here is all about just moving as quickly as possible through the muck and trying to keep your stride as best you can. Heart count is looking good. So hearts are really important in this. Okay, and right there you can see he took a damage boost off the spikes. That allows him to set up the bat timing, that last bat that's always going to come from the right, and allow him to kind of go through there pretty much perfect there. So this boss here can be extremely easy, or it can be very difficult. You can juggle this boss, and you can get him caught in a juggle. But if you miss time at all, he's going to throw out these fireballs, and if those fireballs hit you, you get cursed, and it just is a bad news for everybody. Burb handles it awesomely here, and going into phase 2 of the boss, and it's going to be very quickly taken care of. And so we've got the boss taken care of. 4 stages down. All right, so now is when you grit your teeth. So stage 5 is the most difficult of the run, pretty much the most difficult of the game. So it's going to start off with a intentional damage boost here. Let's see if Burb executes it. Great job getting that boost. So now the most treacherous room in this game. So we have the Fleaman hallway. So you totally have to be very, very much so on your game here. Now, you know, as speedrunning, you want to go as fast as possible. However, this room in particular, on this stage, you want to not only go quickly, but you also want to make sure that you are maximizing your health as well. And Burb did an awesome job of navigating through that Fleaman screen as quickly as possible. Now, this screen here is about just making this climb as quickly as possible and avoiding these crows and trying to get the cycles of the platforms. Burb did a great job, went through that here. Now this is the room that every runner hates. So that, remember that spear boost on stage 2? We're gonna do it again in a much more treacherous location here. And Burb got down here perfectly with looking good on health, got the boost, looking awesome. So here we have to, this stage is all about health management. So Burb is going for a fast strat here because his health is looking good. He's gonna take that's a risky damage boost, but when you have the health, totally worth it. Now the main portion here. This is the nitty gritty of the run. We have the werewolf. So the werewolf is the one boss besides Dracula that is very much so RNG, and you have to be very reactive. He does a ton of damage if he hits you. So you want to try to avoid as much as possible and then still try to burn him down as quickly as possible. So far, Burb is looking great. He's getting to pinball mode, which is usually towards the end of his health. Oh, perfect. So that little Hadouken move gives Burb a lot of time to get in some damage. Werewolf down, great fight. All right. So now if you're doing this as a speed run and you get this far and you've done this deathless run and you're doing a great pace, right about now is when your heart starts skipping out of your chest because it's for real. This is the nitty gritty. So we're on the penultimate stage here, stage 6. Burb's going to start off by going ahead and whipping that first red skeleton, setting up to do a backflip here onto the stairs. So this room here is going to have a damage boost that he is going to attempt, a couple actually. So first one, he's going to take a hit off that fireball to get up a little bit higher, and then he's going to go ahead and take out those crows. Then backflip into the Axe Knight, get the damage boost. Man, Burb is looking like a god right now, man. There's a reason why we call him Master Burb. All right, so this room is definitely RNG dependent, but oh man, Burb got the great RNG. This is the RNG of the gods. So now he's gonna come here and he's gonna be on a specific step so that he can use his item crash to go ahead and hop up to that platform. He's going to use the end of this gear to go up there quicker without having to use that platform. That troll bat kind of messed him up a little bit, but here we have Burb moving through. He's going to use the axe to take out that last skull because they can be very trolly here. He's going to do a backflip over that Axe Knight, and now we have the second to last room of this stage, and that's a new strat right there that Burb figured out, jumping onto that gear. Now, you have to be really careful in this room because any jumps that you mess up, you're going down to the bottom. Great execution by Burb, and he is going to go into the boss room here. All right, so we have the skull fight. Now, this is a fight that we still haven't figured out the best way, but Burb has practiced this a lot to try to do this because this is a fight that can be very much executed the same every time if given the same inputs. So Good fight by Burb. That was really solid. So he's going into Dracula stage here, and the timer is almost it's a little bit off here. So we're gonna retime this after. But assuming that he gets in a little bit, assuming that Dracula RNG treats him well, this might be a PB for Burb. Now that's now, mind you, when I say this might be a PB for Burb with the Dracula RNG, that is the #1 threat to this run when you're going for the top times. So Dracula you can go into this stage and be minus however much, but if Dracula's not nice to you, it's not gonna matter, because you can lose upwards of minutes on Dracula. So this is the all the best speedruns have the most RNG at the very end of it, right? He's going to jump down here. He's going to hit this guy 3 times and jump into the elevator room. Now, this elevator room is manipulatable. You'll notice he's crouching here, and that's to actually manipulate the patterns of when these elevators spawn. And so he's able to ride them pretty much all the way up. Misses a little bit of a jump there, but it's not too much of an issue as long as he can recover and get back up there. Now, this is one of those runs where we have meat in the Dracula room. So as long as he gets to the Dracula room, he should be okay. And so he's going to go ahead and take this invulnerability, kill a Sax Knight, and get through that screen. All right, everybody cross your fingers for RNGesus as we have the Drac fight coming up here. Heart count is looking good. So Dracula can spawn in one of 8 different locations. 6 of them he can hit Dracula. 4 of them are optimal. So he has a 50-50 chance of spawning in an area that you can actually do good damage to him. So far, so good. Oh man. I can only imagine Burb's heart right about now. Because this is the God RNG. Oh man. Going into phase 2. All he's got to do is axe him down. This is why heart count's so important, because you want to have those hearts up. Dracula is dead. Burb's going to grab the orb. The timer did start early, so we're going to retime this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a PB for Burb. And time. Awesome run. That is that honestly, I think that might be a sub 16 when we go back and look at the timing on this. We'll definitely retime that, but that was an amazing run. Great run, Burb. See if we can get Burb in here for a little bit just to speak. That was a really well executed run all throughout. Deathless. I mean, those are the things that you're looking for when you are attempting to do a Dracula X run. The first step is you want to try to get into it into Deathless, and then start going for the big boy strats. Burb goes ahead and shows everybody just right there how it's done by doing both of those things, getting them big boy strats and getting the Deathless run. So once again, my name is Dan Carnett. Make sure that you follow Burb, Master Burb, as we like to call him. I'm going to pass it back over to Vin here in just a moment, and then we'll be kind of moving on. But once again, great run, Burb. That was amazing, dude.
There we go. Now you can hear me, I bet. Sorry about that. That was a great run of Drac X. I think he did PB off of it. Up next we have Pirates of Dark Water, and I can't read the runner's name, and I'm not going to try because I hate misreading people's names. We do have a donation I can read though. Uh, $20 donation for Super Mario Brothers Galaxy. That perfect incentive has been met, so we're going to be watching that. Remember the charity is for Save the Children, man. So if you guys have, extra 50 cents, extra dollar, and you want to enter into some of these prizes or some of that stuff that we've got going up, please, every penny counts.